I think the worst one was when I refused one in person. But usually the death threats are like, you refuse a message, sometimes in your cell phone. I don't know. I think that one of the things that was helping to me a lot is by the time, because I am the second blogger to win the Ortega Gasset Prize. The first blogger was Joanny Sanchez from Cuba. We started to become in touch very soon. And for me, the network of women bloggers, it was so informal network of women bloggers was so important. And I think that there is a moment that the thing that I did is to speak with one other person that I have more confidence, and he knows, he works for the government in Juárez, but I trust him. And sometimes I am asking him if this is a true death threat or not, because sometimes the people, they are doing death threat because, I don't know, because they don't like you or something like this, but not because it's really a death threat, Yes, I did in the same way that when I interview somebody, I don't believe the person, I need to know a little more about the story. I was doing the same with the death threat. But I have a kind of instinct. I believe too much in the energies of the universe, really. And I have an instinct to know if something really is bad for me or something like this. And only one time this was happening that I was thinking that I was in danger. But and the thing that I did was like, after a few hours crossing the border to the States, because they told me to do this. One of the most horrible things that happened to me, more than the death threats, is when I get robbed all my things, all my work, my computer, my passport. And I was feeling like rape, because you don't know who has your material. And was after giving a conference in a hotel in Mexico City, and I wasn't thinking that was against me, but after they told me, yes, you were the only one that have been robbed. I'm like, what? And yes, and they told me, yes, it was against you. I'm like, okay, great. But no, really I'm thinking that, yes, I don't know, but I am, all the times I am feeling like bad or feeling bad, because there is people that has more reasons to feeling bad like me. Like I was feeling bad when I get robbed of everything to feeling bad, because I was thinking, wow, they don't rob me my daughter, I don't have a daughter, but my computer was like my daughter, And I was thinking, why am I feeling bad? They only are material things. I was concerned about, the image or the information and everything like this, because they can put probably in danger some people. But yes, I was trying to learn the lesson that the people of Cuidad Juárez, they teach to me. But sometimes it's difficult. But yes. Mm-hmm. The most important thing that I learned, I am safe right now, completely. But I don't know, I think that one thing that I realized that probably you have listening the same thing with other real writers, like they wrote books, I don't write books, I write like something, a collection of my essays and articles. But I was thinking that the most difficult thing is not protect your body, it's protect your soul and your spirit. This is the most difficult part. Because when you have the amazing opportunity to have people that they trust to you and they are telling the horrible stories that they are living, or they open the heart for you and the homes to you, you become like part of these families. Sometimes they adopt to you. And like journalists, you are thinking that you protect your heart, that you put something to protect your heart. but really not. After, I remember when I was in a fellowship in Stanford, for me it was so difficult to adapt myself to the peaceful life. I was coming from the most dangerous thing in the world for the most boring place in the world. And with a lot of millionaires and people that they don't understand me, they are thinking, but your project is not for making millions. I'm like, no, I never was thinking about this. Well, this is the reason that I'm still poor. But it's like, yes, and in this moment, I realized that something was bad in my body. No, it's like how I can be more. I don't know how I can be more like. Is my place a place of war than to be in a peaceful place? That is the normal thing. The normal thing is to be in a peaceful place, not to be in a place like this. But yes, this is the thing that I was more concerned. Probably this is the reason that in journalism and also, like soldiers that went to wars, there is a lot of problems to adapt to the peaceful life, and people that has horrible problems of drugs, alcoholism, depression, and different things. No, this is more my concern. But the other thing I was thinking, okay, if they kill me, they will be so fast. I am not afraid to be killed. I am afraid. Before I was afraid of not doing the things that I need to do in the moment of my life, and after I realized that I am afraid to another thing. I am afraid of if somebody can to kill my soul and my spirit. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, not really. Some people told me, yes, they're having more journalists that they're having writing the same stories or something like this, no? Really, I want a change. And I know I am focusing this. Sometimes I am very frustrated because I'm thinking, what I can do more? The only thing that is changing is like right now, my hair is getting white, But it's not changing anything. And also I'm getting more tired because it's not easy sometimes to deal, But really, no. I was having some moments of proud of me. Like I remember, like one day, I was interviewed for, a lot of outlets, all of the most important outlets in Mexico. Like right now, probably you know this amazing journalist Carmen Aristegui, that she was fired of her work with her team after doing an investigation that proved the corruption of the president. She was just fired. I get these kind of things now, like people that I admire a lot, they interview me, but also people that I don't admire a lot, and they are pro-government, they interview me in the TV, and I am so happy when, after the interview, I don't know about this, and I don't know this until the night, because they put you a schedule of interviews in Mexico City. And after the interview, I remember that I went to a lunch that I was having with the director of a newspaper in Mexico City, and he told me, wow, it was amazing the reaction of your interview. And what kind of reaction? And I was in a program in Televisa, that is a television very important in Mexico, very close to the government all the time, at the time the PAN, with Lorete Mola, that is one of the most important journalists there. And I realized how his face was changing in the interview, no? And in one moment, after the 5 questions, he finished the interview. And I left. The thing that happened is after the Secretary of State of Mexico called him, and they passed that he was the second person after the president. They put him in air. he was calling the phone the television, and he started to tell that I wasn't telling the truth, that there is less people dead in Ciudad Juárez, and the situation is great in Ciudad Juárez, and I was thinking, oh no, wow, this is great, you know. I never, and I was having, and sometimes, you know, sometimes people from also I am very criticized the United States government. And people of the Department of State invite me to speak, and they tell me, okay, why are you thinking that we can do something different in Mexico or in Colombia? And I was thinking, oh, well, I don't know, but I think nothing was changing, really. I would like, the only thing that would be changing, this, I told you something like very small because I don't want to get very frustrated, but really wasn't changing anything. Because the situation, the people are still dying, there is not justice, there is not a system of rule of law, and they have been missed goals for the last 20 years, and nothing was changing. And after the war against drug trafficking, and I know they stop, and I know everything is great in Mexico, or only the people that are speaking about the poor 43 students that they have been missing, but they are more than, we don't know if there are more than 100,000 people missing in Mexico, and nobody is speaking about this, no? Nobody. There is some brave journalists that are speaking about this too, you know? But it's not in the world. Mm-hmm. I think that right now is very sad. I think that really for the elders in the United States, they don't have any interest about Mexico. They have more interest about other kind of issues, but not about Mexico. And sometimes they are following a lot the official version, no? And I think that, you know, it's very important, the press releases and the official press conference of the government, but it's also so important to speak with the people, to try to know exactly what is happening. But I think that the media of the United States are following a lot the official version. I have more confidence in some media from Mexico that I think that they are doing a good job trying to solve other part of the problem. But this is a good question. Why United States don't have any interest in what happened in the border? Of course, it's not very convenient to know what is happening there.
One last question.
Probably Al Jazeera is the best one. Probably the best one that I saw is Al Jazeera America. In Al Jazeera America. But, mm-hmm. It's very interesting because usually all of the things that I am writing is with last names, with names and last names. And I told them they are very sure about this, you know, because they can be consequence. But I think it's so important to write like this because they are not numbers. They are people with a history. It's not like something like they are numbers. No, they are people with a name and a last name. And when somebody they have been killed, they lost the last names. They lost the names. We don't know sometimes who have been killed, no? I don't know, I can't protect my sources. I can't. I don't know, I can't. It's a risk that I explain to them. Do you want really, or if you don't want, if there is something that you don't like it, please tell me. Of course, if they are victims, you know, if they are other kind of people, I don't tell them that I will be changing the article, but if they are victims, of course, no. And sometimes, you know, they told me things because the people, they start to feel a lot of confidence to me, and they told me things, and I thought that it's not a good thing that they will be telling me this. I told them, I am not planning to write this, but has attention, you know. Also, I protect sources in other ways, like I never put, if if I speak about a kid, I never put his face, and I never put his last name. No, I don't want that. If he's, I don't know, if he or she is the daughter of one of the victims, I don't want to create another victims from the beginning. Yes.
Thank you.